What's good? What's good? What's good? YouTube. Another video here. This channel is growing kind of fast now. It's pretty interesting. Up to 21 subscribers, which is cool. That's just as of today. And the last video was like a half banger. It might get up to like 50 views, which honestly I was completely surprised. I did not think that video would get like more than 10 views, but you know, thank you guys. Like, it's all you guys. Thank you for like all the returning viewers here. Apparently I have around 21 returning viewers, so that's pretty good. But yeah, in this video I'm gonna get into something that honestly, just looking at what's been said on the internet, this is a controversial topic, but for reasons that I think people are just losing to, people aren't thinking about it clearly, in my opinion. So, well, you probably already saw it from the title, but we'll get into it. Another unarmed kid killed by the state. Yeah. Is it race? Is it political party? Is it state versus the individual? I don't know. Let's see. But in my opinion, we're witnessing the ultimate corruption of the state. Yet another unarmed person was slaughtered in broad daylight at the hands of the state. So this one happened yesterday on a Sunday at 2 p.m. in where of all places, I think it was a suburb outside of Minneapolis, which, that's crazy in my opinion, but wow, that's nuts. At this point, I think it's an example of corrupted state power. Okay, let me say that again. This is another example of corrupted state power in the form of the execution of a private citizen. And at this point, this is happening almost once a month. So I'm 24 years old, born in 1996. I don't know if this kind of stuff has been happening with this kind of frequency ever since I was born, and maybe I just noticed it because I was in school largely up until the past year, up until the coronavirus pandemic. And I know that there's been, like, Trayvon Martin was the first really big one that I was introduced to. I think that happened when I was in high school. And it's always separated by race, this kind of stuff. They always say, they make the biggest deal about the race. But for me, as I'm getting older, even when I was younger, I kind of made a big deal about the race too, because to be honest, I didn't really know any better. But now that I'm getting older, like into my 20s, I started realizing I don't think that it's a political thing. I don't think it's a racial thing necessarily. I think it's more of a state versus the individual thing. And the older I'm getting, the more I'm on that side of the state versus the individual. I'm surprised we're witnessing these executions and people are that distracted by the race part. Yeah, but let's just keep going. So is this happening almost once a month? You guys tell me. I'm sure we're gonna witness another one next month. But from what I understand, the kid was not necessarily historically innocent. Apparently he ran away from the cops last year, like in 2020, for another incident. And then there was an outstanding warrant for his arrest or something like that. And I don't know what the guy did. I don't think he should have been executed, especially on accident, which is very interesting to me. On an execution on accident is very interesting to me. I don't know what the guy did the last time he was stopped by the cops other than run away, right? I don't know why he was stopped by the cops last time. And apparently there was weapons involved on the last time, so I'm not saying the guy is innocent, but I am saying that it's strange that he was executed on accident yesterday. Yeah. So, like I'm saying, I'm not saying the guy's completely innocent. What I am pointing out is the insane power of the state over the private individual in society. And the more the state has power and the individual has less power, we're simply going to be seeing more of these. We're going to be seeing more of these confrontations like this. We're going to be seeing more of these school shootings, which I think another school shooting happened just today, actually. Apparently, I didn't get all the news on that because I had to do some other stuff before I could really look into that, but apparently there's another school shooting. And I just think the less the individual has power over his or her own situation, and the more power the collective state has over an individual, the more we're going to see this kind of stuff happen. I don't think it's a coincidence that this kind of stuff is like ramping up seemingly exponentially. I really don't think that's a coincidence, and I don't think it's because people own weapons here, like weapons as in guns. And I don't think it's because people have a race problem per se. There probably is a race problem, to be honest, but has there always been a race? I don't want to get into historic things necessarily in this video, but there probably is let's just be honest here, there is a race problem, but I think this is such a minor problem compared to the bigger problem of the state versus the individual. Race disputes, that most people these days are simply not racist in that sense. Race was an unreal biological phenomenon, basically perpetuated to make a justification for slavery, essentially, for the newest form of transatlantic slavery. Like, so basically the newest, or relatively new, because you could say there's slavery today, but the most recent form of mass slavery in terms of the transatlantic slave trade, that whole race thing was perpetuated to basically justify why blacks could be kept as slaves. So the idea of race is not even that, it's not really that old. This modern idea we have of race is not really that old. So yeah, it's probably an issue, but how big of an issue can it be, in my opinion, when we're talking about the state versus the individual? I think if everybody had their own individual power and everybody knew it, we would see less of a lot of these problems. But yeah, that's my spiel for now. However you feel about the incident, the fact is that the state's power is increasing almost month by month at this point through various mechanisms. So there's inflation, like we talked about before on this channel, and we'll probably talk about several times in the future. There's wealth redistribution through the bond market and the Federal Reserve, and how they print money, that cycle of printing money and quantitative easing. I don't know if I've gone over that. I talked about bond markets in one video that didn't get many views, so I don't know if many people watch that. So I don't know if many people know about that, I'm sorry. And I'll probably cover that more. But wealth redistribution is pretty sinister actually, but yeah, I could talk honestly a lot about that, but I'm just gonna say wealth redistribution. And then we've seen straight up force, like we saw in this incident. So we're seeing it in multiple facets. The state's power over the individual. And of course, they're trying to take away people's guns, which when I was younger, I kind of agreed with that. I was like, why do people need guns? But as I get older, now I'm starting to see there's a reason why people should keep their weapons. For example, in the George Floyd thing, you think a group of police would kneel on a guy's neck for what was it, like 8 minutes or something? You think they would do that if they knew that everybody or most men in the community had a weapon and were possibly carrying a weapon? Do you think they would kneel on the neck of a private citizen if they were surrounded by people who had weapons? I mean, you tell me. Or if they were surrounded by people that could have weapons and that it was normal to have a weapon. Do you really think something like that would happen? And then same with this incident. If the police know that the individual has a certain amount of power, do you think they would go apeshit on a private citizen like we've seen month after month in the recent past couple years? Yeah. You tell me. You're, especially if you're older than me. Well, you tell me. What have you seen? Shit. What stuff has happened that I have no idea about? Right? Like I don't even know. So I try to mind my own business more or less, but this is getting nuts in my opinion. So rest in peace to the guy who died in this unfortunate incident. Like I said, he wasn't completely innocent, so I don't want some like hate comments if this video gets some views. I don't want like hate comments saying, because I've seen so much of that crap on the internet. The same people who are angry about like, oh, the government's getting too big and all this crap are the same people who, or it's not all of them, to be honest, they might not even be the same people, but I'm just noticing a lot of people. On one hand, you have them saying, oh, civil war is about states' rights, not slavery. And then on this, you have them saying, oh, just comply with officers, put your hands up, etc., all this random crap, when you're kind of dealing with arguably similar issues there. The state having too much power is the issue we're dealing with, and the individual not having enough. In my opinion, a lot of these happen to be the same issues, but I could talk about that for this video is for like 15 minutes already. So protect yourselves because the division is real. Like I said, people want to argue with each other over race, political party, and any number of issues that are at best secondary, and at worst distractions. And I say don't let them fool you. I put that in the script. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content, if you just want to be here with the rise of this channel. Sorry for the background. I got dissed on my background for the first time. I got told that just having a white wall in the background makes me seem average. So shoot, I mean my YouTube channel is technically below average right now, but I'm like trying to make it way above average. So, and then I got told I had a grandma bed, probably because of the flowers and stuff. You know, it is what it is. I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to start this channel from the ground up, so shoot, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll try to fix up some of that other stuff for you guys if it's really bothering you. But I just want to focus on the content, and then when if I get more people interested, then yeah, I'll start changing up some of that stuff. But there's a lot of other things I need to do before that. And I gotta get my funds up too. If I want, maybe I could buy a tapestry or something before I can move to another place. Yeah, so that's basically it. Sorry if this video is too long. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Stay healthy.